What's the mood among the families you represent on the eve of the panel releasing its report?
Well, obviously it's anticipation, nervous, emotional and desperate to get what the findings are going to be.
What is it that you will actually be provided with by the panel itself?
Well, obviously when we go into the cathedral we will be getting a summary of the report. We've got to look at that. Hopefully we might be able to digest it, but I doubt it very much. I think it's going to be a very emotional day. But I'm just hoping for the questions that we have put forward, that we find all the answers.
What essentially are you hoping is the main thing that does emerge from the panel's report?
Well, obviously the acceleration of our fans and survivors. That is very important. They've done nothing wrong that day, except prevent more people from dying. So that'll be a very good thing if that does happen. Obviously I'd like to find out why Duckenfield gave the order to open the gate and tried to say the fans kicked it in, and why they did not block off the tunnel in already overcrowded pens. But I think the main thing for everybody who lost somebody that day is to get the inquest verdicts changed and go beyond the 315.
Am I right in thinking that Wednesday is very unlikely to draw any kind of line under Hillsborough for the families, certainly, and it really is just hopefully the next positive step to the next chapter in your fight?
Absolutely. I think I'm hoping it draws a line for them survivors and fans. Some of them who are still suffering, they have guilt still on them, which is an absolute disgrace that these fans had any form of guilt on them whatsoever. They done nothing wrong that day. All they done was help to save more people from dying. And I hope it will be for them fans a complete exoneration for what they were accused of. But I think for the families, I think there will be another journey. But that's what I'm hoping for, actually. I didn't want another journey. I'd like not to go on another journey. 23 years now we've been fighting for the truth of Hillsborough. And I think it will be a journey in the sense of, if there's any evidence there that we can go forward for new inquest, then yes, that's what we're going to do. Because I've always said from the generic inquest, I've always insisted, I've never got my son's death certificate. I did write from that day, after them verdicts came out, I do not want my death certificate, my son's death certificate, till the right verdict's put on it. So I'm hoping I might be on the journey of getting that and achieving that.
Before the panel speak to the media, after they've spoken to the families, of course, a ministerial statement is expected to be made in Westminster. Last October, the Prime Minister likened the family's search for closure on Hillsborough to the plight of, and I quote, a blind man searching in a dark room for a black cat that's not there. What do you hope you hear from the Prime Minister this Wednesday?
I'm hoping that'll be a full national apology. After 23 years of the heartache, not only the families but the fans and everybody else, what they put us through for 23 years was needless. It was unnecessary. It was all there. From the minute Hillsborough happened, they know exactly what happened. They knew who was to blame for the deaths of them 96. And I think it was really to put us through that. And we've had, don't forget, Matt, over these past 23 years, we've had a lot of people slinging mud at us. And we still get that to this day. And we want now a full apology for what they've done and caused the pain, the grief, the heartache, the stress. They put us through hell for 23 years. And the least we can expect from Mr. Cameron. We are not blaming Mr. Cameron for that terrible day. We are not blaming him. But his government was in power on that day. And I think he's got to apologise on behalf of his government.
And it's not only the mistakes that were made on the day by the authorities, but the subsequent investigations, obviously, isn't it?
Yes, there's so many things went on. You know, the legal channels that we've had to go down and fight. And then you can talk about the scrutiny as well. And every one of these channels was saying to us, you need new evidence. New evidence. Now that angers me, because if there is new evidence that comes out on Wednesday, and I do say if there is, it's been there. Why have they done that to us? Why did they not release it straight away? Why did they make the families travel to Leeds every day for a private prosecution? Why did we have to go through all of that? The scrutiny, generic inquest, so many things that we've had to go through, and the door slamming our face. Why did they put us through that? So really, when you asked me before, as I've said, it's the least we expect. It's that apology for all that heartache they'd give us.
And the Mayor of Liverpool has obviously organised this vigil for Wednesday evening to allow people of the city to show their support for the families. What message do you have for the many members of the public who are likely to come along to that vigil?
I'm sure the members of the public have heard me in the past, to this present day, thanking them. Now, the members of the public don't have to be at that vigil to show their support. We've had that support. Without the vigil, we've had that support for 23 years. And I do believe if we carry on further for the inquest to be changed, we will still get that support. But I do say to the Mayor, the Chief Executive of this city, and everybody involved, what they're doing for that vigil, I can't thank them enough, because to me, that's shown the respect for them 96. It's a good thing for them survivors who were there that day, and I can't thank all of them people. And also I've got to thank, while I'm at it at the same time, otherwise I wouldn't be, a nice thing to leave somebody out, the likes of Maria Regal. Also there's Derek Twigg, Andy Burnham, Steve Rotherham, and George Howarth as well. He's had his own personal grief, but he's tried to do a lot for Hillsborough. So they're all people we've got to thank, besides all the public in our city and everybody else. They're all, that's how we've got where we are today. We'd have never have achieved this on our own. We've achieved it through all the ordinary people. They've got a lot to be proud of, an awful lot, and the 96 will be proud of them as well.
Finally, Margaret, you've fought so hard for so many years, to use your words, to remove the blanket that was thrown over Hillsborough.
Yes.
But what is it above everything else that's kept you going through all this?
It's very difficult to answer that, really, Matt, because there's so many things. I could start off by saying each and every one of the families who loved their loved ones so much and knew it was a big injustice what happened. And then you've got all the support from all of the people all over the world, a lot of people from all over the world, the fans, the survivors, our city itself has been a credit to us. I'm proud of the city. I can't thank the city enough and its people, because they've been a credit to this city and to all of us. So we've got all of them to thank. And I think for the 96 themselves, who done nothing wrong that day, and to come home 5 days later in coffins, we've got to get it right for them. Because I'm sure there's a lot of our families we've lost since Hillsborough. And we're desperate for the truth. They were desperate to take the truth. And we've got to do it for all of them who have gone, as well as the 96. It's not just the 96, it's the knock-on effect of what it's done to their families as well. We've got to do it for them. Because as I've said in the past in my speech, we are the voices, we are the ears, we are the eyes. And as I have said also, we've had the crumbs. This time, I think we're getting the whole loaf.